Okay, I did it. Okay, let's see if anybody sees this. I know Karla probably will. I messaged Laura. I don't know. I feel bad because, oh, I always forget. But anyways. Hi, you guys. So I thought I would stream today for a little while because I wasn't able to on Sunday, yesterday. And yeah, I was actually not even going to come back from camping until today, Monday. But yeah. Oh, there's the notification. I see it. Anyways, the smoke in Washington State, if anybody has seen on the news, is absolutely horrible. Our air quality is considered the worst in the nation right now, so it's like dangerous levels. So anyway, so cut my camping short. Let's see, where's my thing? Oh, I didn't even have the chat open. Just a second. There you are. Hi, Karla. I didn't even have the chat open. Hi, Fatima. How are you? Hi, Lisa. Hey, Diane. Judy. Kathleen. Hi, you guys. So camping was fun the first day. It was, I know, I'm a dingling. Camping was fine. We went to, we stayed in this little cabin at an area that is absolutely beautiful. When you can see it, it's this little teeny tiny lake. And so if anybody wants to see, let me put it in the, I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh, there's my face. There's my head. Hi, Deb. I'm pretty sure that's the link. Anyway, yeah, so that's where I was. And the smoke, the fire, there's fires all around here, I mean, it's super bad. There's almost 600 fires burning in Canada right now, and all of the wind is just coming straight down towards where I live, and it's kind of in this big basin. There's just like mountains that surround the whole area where I live. And anyway, so yeah, the smoke was pretty bad. And I mean, it got to the point where we couldn't even see across the lake. And the lake is really tiny, so that doesn't, that's not very good visibility. And I don't know, there was a lot of bees. And so anyway, so we cut it a day short. But yeah, so that's done. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to stream today because I did actually get home in time yesterday to do it, but I don't know, I was pretty tired. And I'm glad I kind of waited too, because I got some inspiration in the mail. And well, I've been inspired to do this for a little while, but Genevieve did a video. I don't know how long ago she did the video, but I watched the video a couple weeks ago, and she does one on rusting, like rusting a whole bunch of different stuff, but then she also does one on dyeing seam binding, and doing that with all kinds of different things that you like already have in your craft room. And so I sort of thought we could maybe take that to another level, and we could look at other stuff that you could dye to use in your journals, instead of just seam binding, right? Because there's all kinds of stuff that we use that is dyeable, Um, and, you know, maybe you guys already use all this stuff, and, you know, I use it, just, you know, happy to use it the color that it is. There's some white seam binding, some cotton twine, some just regular twine. I thought, you know, we could dye some of that and see how that works out. And then I've been using this gauze bandage that I picked up a whole bunch of it at a estate sale. That, and then, so I have the white seam binding, and then I also have this other color that is nice for getting a darker tone when you dye it different colors. It's called Mushroom, and it's a nice color on its own, but it's nice to use to get a deeper color. Like if you want to dye it pink, it gives you a dark pink, you know. Let me get the tape off of it. So you can buy seam binding in a roll. It's usually about $9.50, $10 for 100. What is it, 100 yards? Yeah, 100 yards. And so any other like darker tone like that would work too, like some kind of beige or you know, something like that besides just white. So, oh my gosh, did I lose you guys? Okay. And I know that Care Hart is doing her live stream. Is she still there? Is she still streaming? I wasn't actually on my computer, so I don't know if she's still streaming. But anyways, this will upload and be a recording and all that. Yeah, it's the 1/2 inch seam binding. Yeah. Pretty sure it's 1/2 inch, yeah. So I dyed a whole bunch of it. Let me get this out of the way for a minute. But then also, sari silk. So I bought some undyed sari silk because I thought, you know, silk is super easy to dye anyway. So is wool, by the way. But I really love sari silk, and I thought it would be kind of fun to. So like I bought some dyed sari silk, and I want to tell you that it wasn't cheap. Like for some reason I thought I was getting more than I actually got when I placed the order, and I was really disappointed because I paid a lot more than I should have for it. But anyway, so I got some undyed sari silk ribbon or yarn or whatever. So I want to try dyeing some of that, and I want to use a bunch of different things to do that. And also cheesecloth. You know, you could dye cheesecloth. But I just wanted to show you, like, this is my pile of most of these are done. I'm trying to pull out the ones that I think are done on the mushroom. Yeah, this is the mushroom. So you can use distress inks. You can use alcohol inks. You can use any kind of pigment ink and water. Anyway, so you can see, like, you dyed your plain sari silk. It was rough after that. Why was it rough? What do you mean? Deb's saying that she dyed some sari silk, but it was rough. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys what it looks like when you use the mushroom color. So it just comes out a little bit richer, it's a little bit richer color, you know? It's hard to, I guess I should have had something to compare it to, but just kind of have my pile, you know? You get like a clearer color on the white. I think this is done on mushroom too. A lot of these are done with distress inks. So, hi Lolly, how are ya? Okay, use the Tattered Angels spray. Okay. Well, let's see what happens, because, yeah, did you wash it afterwards? Did you rinse it or anything like that? Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it depends. Like, depends on what you use. I mean, I'm gonna try some other stuff too, and I'm gonna try some alcohol inks, and yeah, I mean, there may have been just some kind of residue, you know, from the color, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna try some other stuff too. I'm gonna use some of those. I mixed up a bunch of my color bursts with just water in spray bottles. I got a few sets of the color bursts. These are powder pigments, and so I mix those up. So those have a metallic, for the most part, I think those Tattered Angels have some kind of metallic additive, right? I don't have any of those, so I don't use them. But yeah, I just the plain alcohol ink works pretty well. And I noticed that when I dyed the mushroom color of the seam binding, I got a real metallic looking dye anyway on the seam binding. So you see what I mean? Like, it's kind of metallic looking anyways. So I don't know how that's going to look on the silk, but I'm going to try it. Anyways, so I didn't have much rubbing alcohol. I have the 91% rubbing alcohol. I didn't have a whole lot of it, so but I did have a giant bottle of witch hazel. So if I run out of that, I'll use witch hazel. So anyway, yeah, I just kind of want to play around and see what kind of results I can get on the silk. So it comes in a skein like this, and it's 100 grams. So, and I bought this on eBay. Just search up undyed sari silk on eBay, and you can find it. It was about $8, something like that, for 100 grams, which is a lot cheaper than the dyed sari silk, I have to say. A lot cheaper. And silk takes dyes, like I said, really well. So, you know, just do some, if you want to just buy a skein and dye the whole thing, then, you know, there's lots of videos about, you know, how to dye silk yarn or wool yarn on YouTube. So, like, if you want to just dye the whole thing, that is kind of cool. And you can do it with Rit dye. You can even do it with Kool-Aid. There's lots of different ways to dye these kinds of fibers. So, anyway, so yeah, so I bought a few skeins, and I'm gonna obviously not dye all of it, but I want to keep, you know, because I want to use some of it just natural like this too. So anyways, it's helpful if you have somebody help you when you, because this is the way it comes, right? So it's like rolled up, it's twisted up, and then it's just in a big long thing all tied up. So it's helpful if you have, I've done this using my feet before. You know, so you got to put it, you got to have somebody hold it for you to roll it up into a ball. Otherwise you wind up with a gigantic mess. And anyways, I've done this with putting it on my feet before. So you can do it by yourself. It's just much easier if you have a helper. So And they wrap it up pretty tight, but anyway, so I want to do this, and I want to do some cotton thread or some cotton twine and a bunch of other stuff. So anyway, I thought I would start out just with some of the pigment ink because I don't do a lot of stamping, but I happen to have a whole bunch of these, so I'm gonna use some of these, and it dilutes with water. So basically, I'm just gonna stamp it all over it. This is probably about 3 or 4 yards or so. So like that, and then I'll add a little bit more to the glass there. And then for this, I'm just using water. Just gonna wet it. And I probably should be wearing gloves, but I'm not gonna. And then just basically smush it around. You want to make sure that it's pretty wet so that the dye has a chance to get into all of the little nooks and crannies and stuff, and then just kind of roll it. Yeah. And then I'm gonna let it dry just like that. And then it does not smell exceptionally good when it's wet. I just want you to know. Anyways, I'm just gonna let it dry like this, and I'll probably get some like striation in the color, some variation and that kind of stuff. And we'll just see how it looks. Maybe by the time I'm done streaming, this one will be dry. I have a little area where I have my air purifier running, so it's like I have a fan that blows on this little rack, so it kind of helps me when I'm drying stuff like this. Yeah, there's lots of places where you can get the raw silk, the undyed sari silk. Sure, yeah, you could wet it first, Gloria. I just didn't because I don't necessarily want to get my I don't want to get my stamp pad wet. So that's why I didn't. And I have done that, yeah, with some of the older ones that I have because I want to try to get some of the ink out of them. Like, well, where'd it go? Like I have all of these too, and these ones are kind of old, so they don't give up their color very quickly. So if I wet them just a little bit with water, then it helps to, you know, draw the ink out of the pad. So I don't know, Brooke, how we could have fun without you. I don't know. Okay, so I want to do like you have to be careful when you're not using gloves. That because I like to roll it in my hands like this, so I try to make sure that whatever dye I have on my hands is not going to come off on the next one. You know what I mean? And okay, I have gloves. I can wear some gloves, but I just don't like them. They're kind of small for me. They're a little bit too small for my hands. So I have like man hands, you know? Anyway, but I want to try this like bubblegum pink. Kind of see what I can get out of there. Well, Brooke, you subscribed to my channel, right? So you got your notification, I'm assuming. I was going to actually ask you if you wanted to maybe moderate for me. Okay. And then I'm just going to add a little bit to the glass. It's almost dead, so actually I think I might add a little water. Just kind of squish it out. See, it wasn't really giving up the ink until I got it a little bit wet. Now, using the pigment inks, I will say, they can leave the, if you're doing this on seam binding, it can leave it a little bit stiff, you know, after it dries, but it's not that bad. If you just kind of rub it like that, it kind of softens it up again. So this needs a little bit more water. Yes, I was talking to you, Brooke. Sorry. Yeah, because I lost a moderator recently, and sometimes I like to stream at strange times of the day and that kind of stuff. And yeah. So now that I put you on the spot, right? I know I totally put you on the spot, so I'm going to go ahead and do that if that's okay. Okay, so no putting anybody on timeout. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Scotty. How you doing? I was thinking you might show up. I didn't want to bother messaging you because it's really not that big a deal. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's a pretty pink, kind of soft pink. So we'll see how it dries. Now you could do, I mean, you could definitely do like a two-tone type of thing. If you, whoops, let me wipe this off. If you take some of the, let's try that and see if we can get like a two-tone kind of effect. Take a couple yards and then I'm just like folding it back on itself, right? And then, whoops, wait a second. So I'm taking, I'm going to hold this loop right here, and then I'm just going to twist it. I bet this would work best with alcohol ink. So I'm going to twist it up pretty tight like that, and then I'm going to let it kind of just roll back on itself, kind of twist back on itself, and then I'm going to take that end and put it through that loop. So it kind of gives us like a little, it's like this, but miniature, you know? So I'm going to try, and I know I'm just kind of all over the place, you guys, but this is just kind of how I do stuff anyways. So, okay, so I think this is blue. Yeah. So it's a blue. This is just an alcohol ink that I made with, I think no, I actually used the Ranger ink. Okay, so I'm going to do blue and green because, well, blue and green play well together. And anyway, so I'm just going to kind of spray this end. And I'm going to wind up with some that's not dyed, right? I'll probably wind up with a little bit down inside of this little skein that's not dyed at all. And then I'm going to do the green here at the end. And I'm kind of like drenching it, you know? There. So I'm going to leave this. I'm just going to leave it like this and let it dry. Yeah, rainbow hands. Okay, I'll do it again, Karla. So I'm going to just let this dry. But first, I don't want to waste this ink that's on here, so I'm going to spray it with a little bit more just rubbing alcohol. And then I think I'll use a little bit of this gauze. Some of this gauze. Is Shelly here? I know, bro. That's funny. Did somebody say Shelly was here? Okay, and then I'm just going to cut some of this cheesecloth. And what else could I put in there? I'll do a little bit of white seam binding too. And we'll just get some color on this stuff, you know? Kind of sop that up. There. And then I'll just kind of roll it like that, get it pretty tight. Hi, Shelly. I thought I saw you. Thought I saw somebody saying hi to you. How you doing? Okay, so that's all basically a turquoise teal green color. Yeah, my hands are going to be like that all day, but that's okay. I don't care. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're here. I'm super glad you're here. Like 4 times, I think. And let's see if I need to do one more. Okay. So I'm going to take that end. I'm going to hold this in this hand, and then I'm just going to start twisting. Just twisting, and twist it pretty hard, you know. But you have to make sure you keep that loop there. So I'm keeping this loop open right here. And then you just kind of let it twist up on itself, right? Well, I kind of want it to do it in the center. Just a second. You kind of want it to start twisting in the middle, but basically just let it do whatever it wants. And then, so then you take this end and stick it through there. See, I can kind of move this around now. And you just stick it through that loop, and that just kind of locks it in place. So you get a little thing like that. And I can use bleach even to clean my hands. So I'll do this again in case anybody missed it. Okay, so let me see if I can find, actually, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try doing this with the, these are the color bursts that I just mixed with water. And they're not extremely bright. Let me see what this orchid looks like. Okay. This is pretty dark purple. Okay, I've got the yellow ochre. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the yellow ochre. And then I'll do the tangerine with it. Yeah. Okay, so this is water in here, right? Like this is just some of the color burst powder in a bottle, and then just filled up with water. You know, I can't even say how much powder is in there because I didn't measure it, but you know, it's a decent amount. Anyway, so I'm just gonna spray one end with the orange, and I'm trying to kind of saturate it. And then let's do another stripe of that orange right up here. And this is water-based dye, right? Or ink or paint or whatever. So, you know, I'm not saying that this is color fast. Like, this is only intended to be used like in a journal. I'm not saying that this is definitely going to stand up to washing. I'm just trying to get the color on there in a way that I like, and then I'm just going to use it as ribbon. So, okay, so that's pretty saturated. Like it's pretty wet all the way through. Hang on, a little bit more right here. And I'm going to wind up with, like I said, I'm going to wind up with a lot that's not dyed. So it's going to be, I don't know, it'll be interesting. So there's that. Yes, and it's like dynamite. That alcohol one is almost dry. The blue and green one that I just did. Okay, and then I'm just going to sop this up with a little bit of this gauze. So what are you guys doing today anyways? Well, if you want to tie-dye your underwear, Brooke, take them off first. In case you hadn't thought of that. Yeah, take them off first. But alcohol ink would probably work. Barbara, you wash your journals? Yeah. You know, I think that yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not going to be washable. But it's a good way to get some color. Let's see. I like the pigment ink. I really like using the pigment ink. Let's see, I want to do a green, let's try using this one up. See, last night, I did a bunch of these with the distress inks. So I just did like the gauze and then some cotton twine. And I actually did get my hands clean last night. So, yeah, so I did some orange, and I even did this little piece of, I don't know, some kind of fabric. Yeah, so that's all going to go like in a big giant bag of stuff to use on tags and things like that. Let's see. Oops. There it is. Okay, so yes, please don't put anybody on timeout as even if you're just testing it. We know what happens when that happens. People get upset about it. Oh, right on. Lace, no, I haven't gotten into the lace. No, I haven't done that yet. I mean, I've dyed lace, but just not with. I usually don't use a lot of color, like a lot of color in my journals. I mean, a little bit, but not a ton. But I don't know if I want to commit much of my lace that I have to a particular color until I know where I'm going to use it, if you know what I mean. Like this stuff, I don't mind because what I'm going to use it for, I like to have the colors to just pull from. But when I don't know, like lace is kind of precious, so I don't know. Yeah, try some lace. Yeah, try some lace. Hi, Laura. They want you to take a time out? No. No, you couldn't be mean. Anyway, so let's try. I want to try some of this twine. Let's see what happens. I mean, I know it's going to die, but I just want to know like what it's going to look like. Let's try it with some kind of maybe I should just use Distress ink on it. Let's do this blue. The Faded Jeans. Whoops. That, and then I want to do a little bit of the silk. So with these pads, because these are kind of hard to get the ink to, whoops, to like smush out because they're those kind of hard pads, I just take it like this and run it through. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, it would probably be a little bit stiff, but you could probably just use acrylic paint too, just like water it down, you know. Did you really, Judy? It was dried up. You know what? That doesn't surprise me because it's just, I don't know. You can't use coupons at Michael's, you know, and they probably don't sell a lot of it. I don't think, do they even have it anymore? I didn't think they even care. Oh, no. Yeah, they don't even carry it at, no, it's Joann's that doesn't carry it anymore. Never mind. So there's the silk. I don't know. Kind of like it. I like it. And then the twine. We'll see what it looks like when it dries. And then just cotton twine. Yeah. Just putting it in my drying spot. Yeah, the alcohol inks are pretty intense. Let's see. What color should I do? Maybe this like deep maroon color. This is just a pigment ink. Ooh, that'll be pretty. Make sure I'm using the water, not the alcohol. I know. I know, I'm turning into a Smurf. Yeah, I just don't want to get a lot of water in my ink pad. So that's why I'm trying to not do that, except for on the ones that are sort of drying out. So the ones that are kind of drying out, I don't care. I like it. I don't know, is this boring, you guys? I made some, I tried to make some buttons last night. I have all these stamps all these postage stamps that I've glued onto just different types of chipboard and stuff. So I took that circle punch, that heavy duty circle punch that I got, and I just punched out a bunch of them. I'm just pretending you guys are at my house. Punched out a bunch of them, a bunch of those stamps, and then glued a couple more layers of, you know, some kind of heavy chipboard or paper or something on there to make them a little bit thicker. And then, here, so you don't have to look at my hands. So this was one of those stamps that, you know, and I punched it out. And then I put a pretty heavy coating of triple thick on there. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of, you know, it's like domed a little bit. So how do I get the ink off my hands? Well, I mean, it'll come off. I mean, most of it'll just come off with soap and water. But I could use a little bit of bleach. Wouldn't hurt me. Yes, I know. I want it. She told me I had to make 500 of them. So, anyways, so then these I did punch. These the ink. Okay, triple thick will change sometimes the color of things like this, like of the old stamps. I think it acts like a solvent to the it acts like a solvent to that ink because it's probably like a vegetable dye or something. Anyways, so this was actually red and now it's orange. So if you want to use triple thick, and I'm pretty sure what's that other stuff called that I refuse to buy, that's like triple thick? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it would do the same thing. But yeah, so because I had all those stamps, you know, so I did kind of a bunch of them. I didn't want to show it on this because it's so colorful, but you can kind of see them. So yeah, I did some stamps. Yes, diamond glaze. Diamond glaze, yes, glossy accents, that's the other one. So I'm pretty sure that those two products would do the same thing. I have a feeling that that stuff is all made by the same company and they just put it in different bottles. I don't know. It's just a thought. But yeah, so the stamps are coming out kind of cool. I like them. I like them. Anyways, just want to show you. Because I like to do other stuff sometimes, you know. Anyways, the silk. Let's see. I want to do some just kind of like some brown sort of tones, you know, like almost like coffee dyed, but not. Let's try this. you know, if I had my nails done and I had just like a fabulous manicure and all that stuff, I obviously would not be doing this. And I don't necessarily recommend that you wash your hands with bleach, but I'm a grown up, and so if I want to take a little comet on my hands and get that color off, then I'm doing that at my own risk. So um just saying. It's not like it's going to stay on there forever. Okay, Barbara. Try to stay out of trouble, okay? We'll see you again soon. Sooner than later. So if you really want this to be like super wrinkly, you know, you can do that, like roll it up into a ball and just let it dry in the ball like that, and then it'll come out super, super wrinkly. A lot of people like to do that with the seam binding, but I don't really care, so. So this one that we did with the alcohol ink, that first one, it's almost dry. So let's undo it and see what it looks like. So there it is. I like it. I know, it's distracting seeing my hands, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah. So that's how that turned out. Actually make something to put on your hands first so it doesn't stain your hands. Yeah, I know, Laurel, that liquid gloves or whatever. I know. Anyway, so I thought that turned out pretty cool. Yeah, I like that brown. I think that brown turned out really pretty. So I'm trying to make sure I do enough of each color that I can use it as like a tie on a journal, or like to wrap around a journal. And then also like on some tags and stuff like that. So let's see. Let's do this green. Or did I already do that color? I think I already did that color. Let's look in here. Let's do that blue. Is that the same blue? Looks like it is. Yeah, and see, these ones are kind of drying up, so I don't mind smushing them in the water. You guys know I don't care about getting my hands dirty, right? So part of the reason that I'm taking the stamp pad and like actually putting it on the fabric too is because I want to get some variation. You know, like I want it to, yeah, I want it to be a little bit like darker and lighter and stuff. So Plus, you know what? I don't use this. I don't use these pigment inks very much. So, I mean, I have a ton of them, so I might as well use them, right? Oh yeah, blue and lime. Yeah, that's a good idea, Karla. So, yeah, you can use old white sheets too. Yeah. Okay, add green. Add green to this. Okay, let's do one that's like two-tone. Let's see if I can do like a two-tone kind of one with silk. And, you know, I know I should be using something that I can use later when I wipe the tray, but I'm not doing it. Let's do one that's blue and green and see how that turns out. I wonder if I should use the distress ink to do that. No, because they'll just blend together more, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, blue. Let's use this green. We'll see what happens. Okay, hang on. I'm going to kind of organize this a little bit. Okay. Oh, I didn't see your comment, the light blue on the bottom. There's a light blue down there. I need a little water on this pad. Yeah, see, this is all the ink is almost gone out of here. All right. Okay, and I'm just going to roll it like this. There! 2, 3, what the heck? I know, huh? Well, we'll see how this... Well, the 2 actually looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Okay, so I say that. I like it. I say that all the time because my mom used to have a daycare, and long time ago, and she had these 2, actually no, it was 3 kids. She had 3 little kids in her daycare, and that's funny, they were from Arkansas. And whenever she'd make stuff for him to eat, you know, she'd always go, "So how do you like it?" You know. And the one little boy, he'd always go, "I like it." It was so cute. It's just the way he said it. I like it. So I always say that now. Yeah, that blue is gone. Okay. There's this one too. Let's see. Now we've just gone crazy. Okay. Yeah, I like red and turquoise together too. And also orange and turquoise. I just need more color in my life, you guys. So this is obviously cheesecloth. I don't know if I said that, but this is cheesecloth. This is for Karla. Karla likes blue and green. I know. I'm not paying you guys any mind. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, what should I do now? What do you guys want me to do now? Should I use those color bursts more? I wonder if I should try the color bursts. I mean, I don't know what else to do with all of those. I've got all of that, all those things mixed in there. Purples? Purples? Should I try some purples? Okay, good. Red and turquoise? Okay. On what? Seam binding? Orange and pink. Orange and pink is actually my very favorite color combination. Okay, so should I do it on seam binding or on silk? Or gauze, bandage, and cheesecloth? You tell me, Karla. We'll see if we can make it happen. I know, orange and pink is just, it's just everything. Okay, so we'll do it on white seam binding. See, I wonder. I don't know if I have orange and. Okay, I'm gonna use the I'm gonna use these to do it with. So let's see. Oh wait, what are we doing? Red and turquoise. Okay. Let's see if I can find a red, like a red, right? Ah, here's a red. That's a pretty good red. And turquoise, like that. You're so funny. You're funny, you guys. Okay. So, do you like that red? Is that red okay? I know it looks terrible against my hands, but this is the best, I think, red that I have. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing it. I have to get this one wet. Well, it's coming out pink. Kind of pinky. It's not super red. I wonder. Oh, just a second. Oh, oh. Okay, yeah, that's more red. There we go. Didn't see this one over there. Okay, red. It's kind of juicy too. That's cool. All right. And yeah, it's seam binding that I'm using. Yes. Okay. That's not very dark, but I think we're gonna wind up with mud here. All right. Wonder how much of it's going to come off on my hands or come off from my hands onto there. Let me... You guys are so funny. A darker blue? Okay, Karla, what do you think? See? Comes off. You guys are so funny. Okay. Don't squish too much? Okay. But I got to get it a little bit wet, so... Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna let it dry like that. I know, it would have been better with a little bit darker blue, but darker blue green. Okay, we'll let that dry. I know, remote crafting. Okay, so who's next? Brooke? What was it you said? You said pink and orange, right? Oh. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. This is fun. Pink, yellow, and orange. Oh my god. Okay. So should we do it on silk or Hi Myrna. I need to get some more coffee, you guys. Should we do it on silk, Brooke, or what do you want to do it on? Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, those are like, that's actually one of my very favorite combinations. Okay. What the heck? So this silk is, you know, it's not extremely consistent, right? Like it's got different weights of silk and stuff. Like, look at this one. It's got some kind of weird heavy, anyway, it's kind of random. So let's see. I'm gonna go with this orange. Okay. Yeah, I did. Yes, Kay, I got the silk on eBay. I want to say I paid like, yeah, this one's drying up a little bit. I want to say I paid like $7.99, might have been $8.99. But like I don't want to necessarily give you guys like a vendor or whatever, because it, it could change. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a secret or anything like that that I'm trying to protect. But there was a, I mean, I can link the seller that I bought it from if you want, you know. I have to find it. I think they probably have a lot of it because you could buy as many as you wanted, you know. And I think they give a little bit of a price. Oh, and it was free shipping. I know, Brooke, exactly. Okay. I want to add another color in here. I think I am going to do the yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow in here. I know, I actually was thinking, okay, I could do like some 5-yard pieces or something. I don't know. So, Judy, it's about, they say 50, they say 60 to 65 yards or so, but you know, it depends on the the weight. They sell it. It's 100 grams is what they come in. You can probably buy larger skeins. I don't know, but those are 100 grams, so it's about 60 to 65 yards apparently. I don't know. I haven't measured it, but and it was free shipping. So yeah, so you can find it free shipping. You just want them to kind of smush together a little bit. There. I don't want to lose my yellow, so yeah. Okay, I just gotta let it dry. So after it dries, I'm not sure if I can get it wet again or not. We'll see. But I think just taking it and like scrunching it in your hands will soften it up. Yeah, so, oops, hang on. Let me wipe this up. So this is that green and pink that I did earlier. And I mean, I don't know, it feels a tiny bit stiff, but not really, you know. This is one that I did with pigment ink. I think, yeah. So just kind of taking it and doing that, um, it softens it right back up, you know. But I think anything that's metallic, like I can't remember who was saying, was it Deb? You were saying that the some of the spray inks that you used, it came out kind of stiff. And I have a feeling that that's because of the metallic content of that ink. So anyway, so yeah, this is just pigment ink, just the color box pigment ink, and I like it. I do. I think it turns out really pretty. This is all of these that I did right here. Well, this is from my eco dye, so this is actually RIT dye on that. But these are all done with distress inks, just regular distress inks. I don't have any of the oxide ones. So, but yeah, these are all done with distress inks, and they turned out really good. So, oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to try. I want to try maybe some of this blanket binding. So I took some blanket binding and I just got it wet and like scrunched it up, and I really like what happened to it. So, yeah, so I've been using that like on some tags and stuff here and there. But I want to try some of this blanket binding and try dyeing it. Let's use some what is this? So I think if you use acrylic paint, yeah, so I think if you use acrylic paint, you're going to wind up with something that's somewhat stiff, right? But I think you can still get the color to stay on there, and I think it'll be fine, and it would soften up if you just like rubbed whatever it was that you dyed in your hands. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, Judy, I think like this is just basically like a satin ribbon, you know. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna try it with some pigment ink, and I'm just gonna use kind of this like brownish greenish color. Which is drying out. I lost the lid to this one, to that whole thing, for about 2 months, and so somebody asked about watercolor. I have been using my oh, so this is this is like a bronze. It's almost a metallic color, so this might turn out a little bit stiff too. But so I was using this is basically watercolor that I've used on some of these already. Sorry, I'm losing my focus here. Just a second. These are basically watercolors that I made using the color bursts. So, yeah. So, I don't know if the color bursts are considered an ink or what, but they're water soluble color stuff. So, and they're not metallic. So this is interesting. I don't know. It's kind of just a browny, weird color. I like it. It's it could be useful. Yeah, I was actually thinking that, Joy, about maybe using some rubber bands and doing some kind of like tie-dyeing. I really like the way the distress inks work. Sorry, I was just checking my stuff that's drying. So this is the green and blue. And it's basically dry. Yeah, so if you just kind of, yes, they're pigment ink. Oh, the color burst, you mean? I don't know. I don't know if they're pigment ink or not. Honestly, I don't. I don't know what they are. They're just, you know, there's just a powder and then you spray. Okay, so who, I wanted, so somebody else tell me what to do, what colors, what colors, what colors. I don't remember which one this was, but I know this was a pigment ink. So it looks kind of cool when it, as it's drying along the edges of the silk, it kind of gets darker, you know? It looks like super stressed out. Doesn't it look stressed out? Yeah. I know, I like the two-tone one too. So this is the blue. And then this is that, it's obviously brown, but I'm pretty sure this was pigment ink too. And these were pigment ink. I don't remember. I have to go back and watch the video to remember. Mossy green with metallic gold. Okay, Laura, hang on. I gotta get coffee. Just a minute. Mossy green with metallic gold. Okay. I think I can do that. The metallics don't show up extremely well on there, though. But I bet it would look cool on that mushroom seam binding. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Green and brown on some cheesecloth. Okay. Yeah, I like that two-tone also. I like the two-tone too. So, see this right here? So this is, I don't know if you can see. This is so pretty. This is the mushroom seam binding. See how it's kind of gold anyway? With whatever the green distress ink is. Is it the, yeah, and it's this, no, it's the olive green. Pretty sure it's the crushed olive. Let me see. Oops. So is that the kind of green you guys are thinking? What do you mean, what am I doing to my coffee? I was stirring it. It's cold, and it's hard to get sugar to dissolve in cold coffee. This color, you like this color? Yeah, isn't it pretty? I know. I think it looks, it turned out really cool. So I was thinking, yeah, I want to try that on the silk. And I want to try this olive green on the silk. Does that work for you, Laura? Yeah, Josie, how do you feel about that color? Oh, Laura, I need to know if that's okay. Because that's kind of like a moss green, is what I'm thinking. Or are you thinking more of a, like, that kind of green? Okay, so that green's okay? Okay. Oh. Yeah, I can tell. That's funny. Oh, man. Okay, and then, let's see. So I've got like this. I have this. This is kind of almost a metallic. So let's try that. I think this whole like thing is they're sort of metallic. So let me get it kind of into a shape. And I'm going to try wetting it first. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to do this. This is the crushed olive. I'm going to do it in the middle section. Just in the middle section. I don't care if it gets wet. It's fine. I probably won't use these inks for anything else anyways. Okay. So there's that green, and then this. Oh, this is actually really pretty. Almost gone. Yeah, this is like dead. Okay, just a second, because this is actually more of an actual gold color. All right. Let's do just a tiny bit of this green in there. 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 Okay, I'm going to spray it again. All right. Let's let that dry and see how it looks. Yeah. Yeah, it is very retro. I like it. It actually looks really cool. See if you can. I'm trying to not let my hands be distracting. um, this towel is kind of blue, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, it's not bad. Let's let it dry. Okay, so also, because I am kind of crazy, a little bit, so I got a bunch of these little tiny gold safety pins because they look so cool on the front of a journal, right? Or like on a tag, just like pinned onto the string or something, you know? And especially when they're rusted. See them? Aren't they cute? I'm going to put these in my shop. Hi, Rosemary. Yeah, I do have some metallic stuff. I have some metallic sprays. I have tons of metallic acrylic paint. And yeah, these are kind of metallic. This so it's I bought these on Amazon. Okay, that's where I got these. But oh, and by the way, you guys, if anybody wants to participate in the live stream on the 26th, so in 6 days, if anybody wants to participate in that with everybody else that is doing the popcorn bag mini, I still have kits. The listing says that I have, I think, 16, but I noticed there's about 20 people that have them in their carts. So if you want to get those, I would definitely recommend like ordering them tonight or tomorrow, and then you can have it by Sunday. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because that is actually, that live stream is going to turn into a private video for anybody who has not purchased the kit, just so you know. Anyways, so here I am just playing with the safety pins. But you do it with hydrogen peroxide and vinegar and salt. And then you just let these, like, so I let them soak in that solution for about 20 minutes, and then I laid them out on a towel, and and let them dry, and then I sprayed them with water again, just with water, and let them dry again, and then sprayed them with water again, and then it just kind of slowly builds up the rust on them. Yeah. So my shop it should be in the description. Yeah, and I do have salad back in stock. It's 2 silver oranges, Joy, and it should be linked in the video description. If it's not, is there any way that, you know, Laura or Karla or Brooke could possibly add the link to the chat for me? I'd appreciate it. But yeah, so I love this mushroom color because it's really, I don't know, it's almost like metallic, you know? It's let's try it with some kind of weird color. I want to try it with like a I don't know, pink or something. Something different that you wouldn't necessarily think of to use on that. Let's try with like pink. So wait, somebody said they got it from you got the Hug Snug seam binding directly from Hug Snug? Because that's pretty cool. Okay, I don't know. Spun sugar. I want to use, you know what I really wish I had more of was this pink. I love this pink. Okay. Oh, it's all dry. Hold on. I won't let you paste the link. Yeah, this is dead. It should be in the description on the video. Yeah, it's right there on the description in the video. So, hang on. There it is. No, you're not in timeout. No, you're not in timeout. Why? What's it doing, Brooke? Is it not letting you do anything or what? So it's just interesting working on this color because it gives you kind of weird results, but they're cool, you know? Oh, it's kind of becoming like a weird dusky pink, or maybe it's picking up the dye off my hands. Who knows? It's interesting. They're the gold tone. They're the gold tone safety pins, Lolly. Yeah, and I think it was 2,000 of them I got. And so if you're gonna try doing that rusting, I would do like like say a cup of hydrogen peroxide and a cup of white vinegar, and then like a tablespoon of salt. That's what I would do. Yeah, it won't even let me add my own link. For crying out loud. Yes, it's an Etsy shop, but it's weird on Etsy. You have to search. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it won't do it. So also just go to twosilveroranges.com and that'll take you right to my website or right to my Etsy shop. www.twosilveroranges.com. Tell me if that one went. Did that one show up? So brass ones, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the base metal. So like if it's solid brass, I don't think it'll actually rust. You'll get a patina, and you'll be able to get it to change color and stuff. I don't know if it'll like rust with iron oxide like something that steel will. So but if something is just plated, like if it's steel and then they're plated with like a brass color or a copper color or something like that, then that vinegar and hydrogen peroxide solution will act like an acid, and it'll kind of eat away that coating. And so that's why what I've been doing with that kind of stuff where it's like plated with a different color. Yeah, so if it's coated or plated with brass and it's not actually brass, but it's just plated, then that will actually eat away that coating. So what I do is I soak it in that solution for a couple hours, and it should change the color of it at least. And then yeah, and then that'll take it down to the base metal, which should be stainless steel. Usually it is. And then the stainless steel will rust. But what I've been doing is soaking it for about 20 minutes or an hour until I see the color change, right? It doesn't look rusty when it's in the solution. It just looks like dull metal, and then you take it out and I let it dry on the towel, okay? And then I let those dry, and they just change to kind of like just the base metal, like steel gray color, okay? And then I spray it with water. And as they dry, after you spray them with the water, that's when you start getting the rust to actually build up. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I've done that on those paper clips I've done, or those safety pins. I have sprayed them with water and let them dry twice. So they've gotten a really good layer of rust on them. So anyway, that was like a lot of detail about some, you know, but yeah, so that's what I do. No, it's a cup of, oh yeah, is that hydrogen peroxide? Yeah, I don't know the like, yes. So a cup of hydrogen peroxide, a cup of vinegar, and then I would say a tablespoon of salt. Yeah, like a tablespoon of salt. I don't know how much, that's what I've been doing. You know, you could get different results depending on your, you know, ratios, but it seems to be working pretty well. And for stuff that's like safety pins that are, so like the silver safety pins, they rust, but different. Here, hang on, let me show you. So they don't turn out, like the whole thing doesn't rust. It's weird. Like it kind of just rusts like on, see what I mean? Come out a little bit different. Yeah, and then you get some nice rusty water too. So yeah, so you can see like these are just rusted around on the clip, you know, they're not all completely rusted. So I also tried doing, oh, let me show you guys these paper or these safety pins that I did. Do you remember when we did the patinas on the metal pieces? It was like a week ago. Yeah, they have a nickel coating. Exactly. So if you can use that acid to remove that coating, or if not totally remove it, but at least it kind of damages that coating a little bit, so that you can get the base metal underneath that coating to rust. So I just wanted to show you guys, I did a bunch of safety pins with those different paints. Remember the paints that when I did those metal pieces? So there's like 3 different sets. So I just did I just did some safety pins. Yeah, I thought they turned out kind of cool. Yeah, see it? No, I did not paint them one by one. I like that one. No, I just put like a little pile of them there and then kind of tapped the color on randomly all around on them. But what's really neat about that paint is that it sticks to the metal really well. You know, like it's on there. And then do you guys remember the feather that I did? The feather and the butterfly. Well, I rusted some of those too. So those, some of those, you know, the filigree shapes that you can get. I know, right? um, so these are just like silver. I think these were like 7 gypsies or something, but they were just like a silver metal. So they rusted pretty well in that solution that I just told you. And then, so this butterfly is just that, like brass. So you can rust, yeah, see, this is how that feather started out, you know. So these are the ones that we painted. I've got them in here. I think I did a few more after we finished. So yeah, so these give you the verdigris. um, so those, and then, so this is what the butterfly, whoops, there it is. So this is what the butterfly looked like before I rusted it, and it rusted pretty good, I think. I like it. So this must be stainless steel, you know. Anyways, so all of these little pieces, well, these aren't my round ones, but all these filigrees, these will rust in that solution. I think that stuff is kind of just like an acid, and it yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, Rosemary. So sandwich them in cloth and steam them. Okay, that's a good idea. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna rust some stuff, and I was actually gonna talk to you about that, but so these I just got on Amazon. If you go on Amazon and search up brass filigree assortment, something like that. Oh, dip the cloth in vinegar first. Okay. Do you do it like just straight vinegar, or is it like a water vinegar solution, Rosemary? You're so helpful. Rosemary sent me some leaves from her yard for my next eco dye adventure. And she's just the sweetest person ever. If you guys haven't subscribed to Rosemary's channel, go and subscribe, because she's got some awesome ideas, and she's really a sweetheart. So and some really cool stuff. That I've been watching your videos on the Altered Book. Like I watched your video on the image transfers last night. So yeah. Okay, Deb. Well, you have a good night, okay? Sorry you're not feeling good. Hi, Valerie. Yeah, I need more coffee. And I think I'm gonna finish some tags. I'm making up some more, like, kind of like the junk folios that I had. I'm gonna do some more of those, I think. And yeah, so I wanted to make up some tags to use in those. But I'm liking this kind of, yeah, flowery. And I've been getting like super messy with my stitching on my tags. It's kind of fun. Anyway, so yeah, I have lots of stuff going on, lots of projects. Yeah, Josie, look at all those tags. And what the heck am I going to do with all those tags? You know? I just start making stuff and I can't stop, and that's what happens. I was actually fussy cutting and doing these kind of like, I don't know. I was thinking about making a video maybe later. I'm calling them sort of like patchwork tags, because they're kind of just like 3 or 4 different types of paper patchworked with onto a tag, you know. And yeah. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, like this. So like, so this one just has like 2 different kinds of paper, and I like if you ink around the edges it kind of makes them look more dimensional. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's collage for sure, but just kind of the effect when you ink around them. Yeah, it kind of gives them some dimension. Like it definitely makes one look like it's higher than the other one, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So like I love how this is working out. You know, it's kind of pushing the text back. And see, this has another piece of text on the top. So anyways, yeah. Rhonda, that's funny. 4 more days of vacation. I know. Well, honestly, this will come off. This is why my hands always look terrible. So, yeah, Josie, it's really fun. And since I have lots of lots of glue sticks now. Yeah, no, I was making those when I was camping. Yeah. I set up a table inside the tent and opened up all of the windows of the tent. So just the screens were there, you know. And so I was safe from the bees. And I just sat there with my headphones on and made up a bunch of tags. And then when I got home, I actually brought my sewing machine camping with me, but I forgot the cord. So, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, if you sew them, it would totally look like patchwork. And I did kind of stitch around some of them, but I don't have the patience for that. You kind of get the same effect just from the ink anyways. I know, right, Brooke? It was actually really nice. It was really, really pretty, and it's just a gorgeous spot. I'll post a couple pictures in the in my Facebook group so you guys can kind of see what I was looking at. It's a beautiful spot. It really is. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so lots of different things you can use to dye seam binding or silk, you know. I mean, you just basically just put your color on it and see what happens. Let's see if this is dry. So this is basically everything we have now. I think I could undo this. This turned out really pretty. I really like it. That's the sari silk. Let's see how this looks. I wish you guys could just come over. Yeah, I like it. Don't want to scrunch it together because I don't want the dye to move still. Okay, and then this is the green and kind of gold one. It's almost dry. I love this. I think this is really pretty. And usually this silk is about an inch wide or so. It's not super wide. But if you wanted to iron it, you could. You know what I mean? I know, 2,000 miles is a long ways. Yeah, that'd be awesome if you guys could just come over. All right. Oh, here's the red and turquoise. I guess it didn't turn out as deep turquoise as this, but I like it anyways. And this one does just look kind of like coffee dyed. This is the blanket binding. Why aren't I out? Oh, who? Yeah, when you retire. I know, it looks pretty, doesn't it, Karla? Yeah. kind of, yeah, this looks like something you would like. It does look like you, now that I've seen a lot of your work. I like that one. I like all of them. I like all of them. Even my scraps. So, okay, I haven't gotten my verbiage together. I'm trying to decide if we're going to do, it seems like most people in the group are most interested in doing a fabric scrap swap rather than fabric scrap swap, paper scrap swap, and button and trim scrap like swap. So I think we should just do the fabric scrap swap first, and then we can do, you know, the paper one, and then maybe do the button and trim one once we kind of, you know, I don't want too much going on all at the same time, right? So I'll get that put together and I'll post something tomorrow so everybody knows that, you know, so everybody knows where to find the information. We'll do a fabric scrap swap in our Facebook group. So, and if you are not in our Facebook group, the link should be in the description on this video. Just click it, answer the questions. They're not like hard questions. They're super easy. And we'll get you added, and then you can join the swap. So all right, you guys. Brooke, you be a good girl. I mean it. I'm gonna go make some coffee and clean up this mess and try to get something accomplished. Yeah, that would be awesome if you guys could give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I will be here on Wednesday at my regular time at 4 p.m. Okay? Yeah, I know she doesn't know how, but she can try. She can try. You too, Josie. Thank you, Laura, for coming and helping out. I appreciate it. You too, Karla. You're a sweetheart. And I love all you guys. I love, love, love you. Thank you, Gloria. Have a good night, Brooke. Thank you for stepping up. I appreciate it. I'd do whatever you need, you know, whenever. If you need, you know, anything, just ask. Okay. You guys have a good night. Thank you, Rosemary, for all your loving, kind, you know, support. I really do appreciate it. All your good information. You guys subscribe to each other's channels. Don't forget. Okay. Love you. Bye, Tammy. I know, but you will be. You will be. You will be, Brooke. All right. I'm signing off. See you guys Wednesday. Bye for now.